Hello, today I'm going to go over my snorkel on my lawnmower. It's a mower I can pretty much do anything on. I don't have like different mowers for different things. It does everything for me. Pretty much my biggest mod to it yet. And snorkel. I'm going to go over how I did it for some people who aren't quite sure how to do it. First, let's go over how it's secured. Down here, it's on the intake. And up here, I put a rubber strap on the hood because there was really, on my mower, there's not many other places to fix this to. So, the best bet was a rubber strap so that when the hood's closed, it holds it. But it's starting to tear a little bit, so it'll probably have to be replaced soon with a metal strap or something. And when you take it off, it just sags a lot because of the air filter on the end. So leave that to the side there. This is a piece of rubber that keeps the, I have to glue it to the back of the snorkel right here. It keeps it from scratching against the hood. Well yeah, let me put the camera down real quick. Actually, let me see what we got here. Alright, there you go. Alright, so what I did was I took some PVC. Let me pop off this air filter real quick. It's probably gonna be a pain in the butt, of course. I took some PVC, and this is an old gas tube out of a jet ski. It goes to the gas tank. And then I needed some other tubing right here. It's probably like 3/4 or something for the breather on the motor. And what I did was I cut the top of the original air intake off, which I have here. This is what the original air intake looks like. It comes with some other parts, which I actually do have on hand here. We just let that sag. This is all what goes in the stock one. This is the cover. This is the filter and all that. And if you look in here, right, you probably can't see because the lighting, right where my hand is where the stock intake is. Because it actually sucks air off the top of the motor through a hole in the motor cover, I should say. And there was just times, I do go deep sometimes, never deep enough to cover the thing yet because I didn't try to ruin it. But I've gone deep where it's been a little bit scary, so I decided to build a snorkel. And the biggest part that you need is really this. The biggest thing you need is a good connection to this air filter. From there, it's really easy. So once I found this jet ski tube, I cut it. I had to do some shaving down and stuff, and you really can't make a snorkel off this, just so you guys know. But, you know, then I got that over top, stretched it over, hose clamped it. You could also put some silicone in there if you want, but gas does get in here. So if it eats that silicone, it's going to be pretty useless, and it could even end up getting inside your carb and clogging it, which isn't good. So I ran the bendy piece up to a 90. I had this laying around. Everything on here, this in total cost me $6. I had this laying around, and I put this 90 on here. It's a male to female adapter, and the male end goes into the snorkel. The female end comes up to this other piece of pipe. This is 1.5 inch PVC. And if you're gonna make one of these, I suggest you, if you're gonna buy stuff, I suggest you purchase the black PVC. Well, it's not PVC, it's actually different material, but you don't have to do this painting then, and the paint will scratch off. I hose clamped it here, PVC cement here. Then I ran it up to my air filter, which if you look closely in there, actually I don't think you can really see it. Let me get the light here. That's actually an oil filter in there. The air filters around me, I couldn't find one. I was gonna just get a regular old cone air filter, but they didn't have one at the AutoZone I was at, and I didn't want to wait any longer. So I just purchased this one, and it's oil filter, and I glued this fitting from a piece of PVC. I actually had to cut it off. It was a trap fitting or something like that, a trap adapter. I cut the threads off, and I JB welded it to the bottom of the oil filter. Then I took a ricotta cheese container, cut it to the proper height, and siliconed it to the top of the filter, because there was an open hole on top, and you want the filter to clean out the air. And now I have a waterproof one, so when I'm out in the rain, no water gets on my filter. Like I said, this is pretty much the biggest piece you need. From there, it's all easy. And the other most important thing is making sure you silicone your breather for your engine here. The breather for the engine comes off right there, and you can see in there I have the stock one still on. It comes into another piece of tubing to lengthen it, and I put a hard piece of plastic tubing in there and zip tied them on top of that. And the restriction isn't really going to matter. That helps with the keeping it watertight and stuff. And then this is actually the fitting out of the original air cleaner, air box, whatever you want to call it. This was the original fitting for this breather. And I have to zip tie this on, zip tie the hose to it, but all I did was drill a hole. It actually like snaps in, and then I put some silicone just for added security. And that's not gonna get hurt. If you really wanted to, you could always buy a little air filter, like $11. It's called a breather filter. Run this into the back up here, and then it's completely waterproof. But if you ever go deeper than that, your block's gonna get some water in it. But this is pretty much the only way to do it, really, unless you get another type of fitting that comes off of here. That's a straight pipe, and you can just use PVC adapters and stuff. Using this stock piece, you could, if you really wanted to try and make one. On my last lawnmower, I did. Let me sit this here so I can demonstrate. I took the grinder and cut it down here and here, and here and here, and the opening wasn't quite as big. Took some PVC that fit over top of that hole completely. I used like construction adhesive or something like that. Secured it to that. Piece of all thread came down to the bottom. Pinched it all together with some PVC fittings on top so rain didn't get in. No filter, anything. It was really terrible because the gas ended up getting around this edge, eating the stuff, and it was just a bad idea. So this is the best way to do it, is just get a piece of hose. Radiator hose would probably also work. And stretch it over top of your original one, or make one or get another one. And then you gotta make sure you do this, because some people probably forget this. And you don't want water inside your case at all. And then just get an air filter. You can get ones on if you go to like Napa or Advanced or a different auto parts store, I'm sure you can find one that's a cone one, but it still won't have a cover most likely. But they're like 20 bucks at most, unless you buy like a K&N, which you really shouldn't for your lawnmower. The only thing you have to watch out for is restriction. Make sure you keep any of the openings within this as big as the ones they were stock. So into the carb, the hole is about yay big, say. So I made sure my air filter had a similar sized hole in the middle to allow the proper airflow and it doesn't choke it out. And the only other problem I had was this, the control for the throttle, hit this originally. It wouldn't let it move, so I just took the grinder and I just came in there and bzzz, shaved it all down. It was fine now, no problems. And that's pretty much it. The only thing I don't suggest is that you glue this on. Especially PVC cement, because you're not going to get it apart. Because this needs to come off, because if you get it dirty, or you need to work on it or something, and you need to replace it, this has to come off. So that's the only thing I'd suggest. That's it. Pretty much. And the best thing about this, let me put this down again. Reassemble it here. Like I said, I'm really going to have to get on a strap for this because this one's starting to rip. I'm probably going to use like a piece of metal or something and a clip. I'm not really sure yet, actually. To be honest. Pop your air cleaner, the filter itself back on top. And one thing I like about this is it doesn't interfere with my LEDs. Let me turn my key on. This button right here, it's my LEDs. Which, can you see me there? There's my LEDs. But for some reason... Oh, crap. Well, those LEDs got demolished. You see the melted spot. But it actually lights up the snorkel pretty cool. So, that's all.